Hi guys, this is Nada from Techtesters, and with a little bit of help from NZXT, today we're going to hashtag RGB all the things. Now, if you've seen some of my videos before, you know that I have a soft spot when it comes to NZXT and their products, and now they have a brand new lineup of their RGB accessories, and we're going to use them all, because everybody knows that awesome RGB gives you at least 50% higher frame rate and doubles your DPS, right? So I've already stuffed some RGB cable combs and Underglow to my H700 here, and to my current setup I'm going to be adding a Hue behind the monitor for some ambient lighting. But I also have here the air fans too, and some new LED strips, and they have a very special spot. After praying for a very long time to the NZXT gods, they finally sent me the H700 Nuka Cola edition. So the fans and the strips will be going to that one. The basis for all these new RGB accessories is the new Hue 2 controller. Now you can either buy this as a kit with 4 LED strips for about 80 euros or with 2 Air RGB 2 fans for about the same price. The new controller brings a few welcome upgrades over the old one. It is now sleek matte black instead of glossy, and it is significantly slimmer, making it easier to fit into certain cases. It now has 4 output channels instead of 2, and each is allowing 40 individual LEDs to be controlled. That makes it about 5 fans or 4 strips per channel. It is now also possible to daisy chain different accessories, allowing you to use more accessories at the same time and making cable management a lot easier. Beside the fact that using a Molex PSU connection instead of SATA feels a bit outdated, there is little to complain about. You do have to keep in mind that it has a USB 2.0 header requirement to connect it to your PC. A lot of motherboards usually have around 2 of those, and it gets tight when you want to use multiple products that all need separate USB connections. Now, NZXT does offer a handy internal USB 2.0 hub, but that will set you back another 20 euros. If you have any of the older accessories, they're going to work just fine with the Hue 2, as long as you don't put them on the same channel with the new lineup. On the other hand, the new lineup is not going to work with the older Hue, so if you plan on having these, make sure you have the right controller. NZXT Cam software is used to control the RGB. Now you can change between different presets or make your own multicolor effects, and it's all pretty straightforward and very easy to do. NZXT has gotten some criticism over this software, and I do agree with some of it. It is reasonably bulky, it takes a bit to start up, and it's continuously reminding you to log in. It also offers a lot of features that people might find a bit excessive when just wanting to change their RGB effects, like the extensive monitoring of pretty much everything. Now, some people might appreciate having one big software pack to rule them all, but some might just wish for a lighter RGB control-only application. The fans and the strips don't seem to have changed at all. Both carry the same specs and look and feel identical. I personally love the Underglow addition to my setup. You just stick them on the bottom of your PC and connect them to the controller using the expansion slot accessory. Now do keep in mind that gravity might do its trick here as well, so securing these strips in place with some extra tape is recommended. Cable combs are another addition to this ever-growing RGB craze. It has 2 24-pin combs and 5 8-pin combs. Some things to keep in mind. It is one big chain going from the U2, so make sure you can reach both CPU and GPU connections with your cable management. And more importantly, it is clearly meant for GPUs that have 8-pin connectors only, so combining it with a 6-pin PCIe cable is not ideal. I'm actually pretty excited to put the Hue behind my monitor for some extra ambient lighting, and I'm very curious to see how is that going to actually work. You can buy 2 different kits depending on the size of your monitor. So there is a 21 to 26 inch kit and 27 to 35. And this is a 34 inch ultra wide monitor, so I'm going to be using the bigger kit. These cost around 90 euros. And if you just want a simple RGB, you're better off buying a simple RGB strip, or just go to IKEA, they have RGB strips that are pretty cheap. But for software controllable light that can also react to what's happening on your screen, 90 euros is actually not that bad. Setting this up is also very easy. You just simply stick the controller and the strips to your monitor, power it up and connect it to your PC with a USB cable. Once in the software, you can set your lights individually, make them rainbow unicorn or change them depending on the PC temperatures or even your FPS. Or you can just use the ambient mode where it reacts to what is happening on the edges of your screen. I think it works well and it looks really good on your setup, giving it some nice extra glow. Some of the transitions could be smoother, but that's not something you notice while gaming. You do have to keep the size of your monitor in mind as well. The smaller kits comes with two 30cm, four 25cm and two 20cm strips, while the big kit has four 30cm and four 25cm strips. For most monitors it will be just fine, but for my LG 34UM88 here, which is 82cm wide, it was impossible to use the recommended strips without having them visible on the sides of my monitor. Luckily, we had a smaller kit as well, so I used one 20cm strip instead of the 25cm one, and it fit just right. So do measure your monitor before running to the store. I actually wanted to do this video a few months ago when we actually received this lineup for the very first time, and I used the cable combs and the Underglow straight away. But after using the Hue behind my monitor, the strips as well as the controller fell off after a few days and I couldn't put them back on. So we reached NZXT with this problem and apparently we weren't the only ones. So after a few months, they actually changed the tapes used in these kits. So if you still have problems or you bought a kit prior to this change, make sure to contact them and they will probably send you one of these, which is replacement tapes. Now I know that RGB is not for everybody and people are just going to think that these products are completely useless for their money, but if you do like RGB like me and if you do like your setup looking nice, then these products are definitely worth checking out. Now they are absolutely not perfect, but they will make your PC building experience and your making your setup nice so much more fun. Now that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about this review and see you in the next one. Bye!